everyone! So today I'm going to be doing a book haul. This is actually a massive book haul. I'm going to attempt to hold these books up. So these are the books I have. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Please do not fall. I'm going to be so angry. Without further ado, we'll get straight into the book haul. These are all the books that I purchased in the last few months. So the first one I have is this new edition of Cinder by Marissa and Meyer. If you know me, you know that I love the Lunar Chronicles, and when they said that they're redesigning the covers and re-releasing them, I was totally on board with it. I love the cover design of these new editions, and yeah, I love the details of the artwork in this. I know some people may think it's a waste of money to have 2 copies of a book, but I don't care. I also really like how bold they made it. They kind of put like a fuchsia pink color in the background. The next one I have here is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin, a masterpiece from one of the great writers of the 20th century. Yes, please. I hear really good things about Ursula K. Le Guin. 2 people are stuck on a journey to get home and they're stuck in a blizzard. They're on a planet with like people that can swap genders. That concept was really intriguing. The next books I have here is a trilogy, the Red Queens War Trilogy by Mark Lawrence. So I did have Prince of Fools for a while now. I'm pretty sure I had it included in a previous book haul, but since then I got books 2 and 3. We've got The Liar's Key and we've got The Wheel of Osheim. I hope I'm saying that correctly, otherwise I'm going to be very embarrassed. But this trilogy is one that I've been meaning to read for the longest time. It's been a difficult ride because I refuse to pick these up until I finish Emperor of Thorns. And it's taking me so long to finish that book. I have DNF'd it for the 2nd time now. That book needs to be read, and I'm pretty sure I'm halfway through it, so there is no excuse anymore. I really hope that I like Prince of Fools because I bought all 3 books now. It's too late, it's too late. The next book I have is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng, because I've liked Celeste Ng's previous novel before, and so I kind of have faith in it. I've heard really good things about this book as well, and there's a TV show adaptation of it. I'm pretty sure there's some commentary on like class divide. I'm just very excited to get into this book. The next book I have is Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa. This is the 3rd and final book in the Shadow of the Fox trilogy. I can't wait to get into this book because it's the final book. I'm just really sad that it's so short. I really wanted this book to be longer. What is with the final books in trilogies being really short? First Queen of Nothing, now Night of the Dragon. Is this a new trend? This looks like it's the shortest book in the trilogy. That makes me sad, but I'm very excited. The next book I have is a classic. It is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. It's a science fiction horror novel. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world. It's sort of like a zombie apocalypse, but it's like a vampire apocalypse. Everyone is a vampire now. That makes me question, what do the vampires drink if there's no more humans around? Don't they drink human blood? They're gonna starve themselves out. Anyway, this is a book that I've been meaning to read for a very long time. It was published in the 50s. Damn, that was a while ago. Let's hope I enjoy this book because it's been on my list for a while now, and I kind of want to read something dark, and I'm glad that it's sort of short. I love post-apocalyptic stories, so that is right up my alley. Yeah. The next book I have is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This book has been getting very mixed reviews, and also my copy, it's like peeling. I was like on the verge of like returning it, but I feel like it's too late now. Book Depot giving me damaged goods. Oh, you see? It's a plastic thing. Anyway, this book has been getting a lot of mixed reviews on BookTube, and I'm intrigued because I thought that this book had a very interesting premise. I heard that this has a lot of body horror in it, and that's something that I'm intrigued by because isn't this a YA fiction and they're gonna get gory and dark? Yes please, but mainly I love the cover. It seems like for the most part people that don't like this book don't like it because of the body horror aspect. People just don't like how disgusting it is, but you know what? I'm all for it. I've seen some pretty gross, nasty stuff in my life that you probably couldn't even comprehend and imagine. Hashtag nurse life. So I'm ready. I'm ready to see how disgusting this book can get. Yeah. I feel like I don't really know much about the premise besides this island or this school being quarantined and people start growing weird mutations on their body. That's about all I know about this book. I feel like I'm almost challenging this book to scare me, to make me disgusted, because that's all I've been hearing about this book. And I feel like maybe because the cover is just so beautiful and aesthetic, I just feel like it won't get me. If it doesn't go the extra mile to make me queasy and disgusted by its descriptions of the people's mutations, then I'm gonna be pissed, because people have been saying how disgusting and gross this is. No, I want some Stephen King level descriptions of gross, grimy things. I feel like I just went off on a tangent, but I'm excited for it. I don't know. The next book I have here is Blood Heir by Amélie Wen Zhao. This book had a lot of book drama late last year, and you know what? I'm really out of the loop with book drama. Don't know what's going on at all. I was quite oblivious to it until I came across a booktuber that made a review for this book. She kind of hinted at some of the book drama that surrounded this book. I'm pretty sure the drama just went overboard and went out of hand. People saying that it was severely racist. This book got delayed for publishing. But you know what? After hearing what was going on, I just felt really bad for the author, because by the sound of it, she kind of based the book around sex slavery that is very, very prominent in the Asian continents. And then people took it out of context, it seems, and thought she was making a statement on the slavery that happened in America. Look, slavery happens everywhere around the world, and you know what? When people started putting this book down, it made me more intrigued. It made me move past the whole drama thing. It made me want to pick it up because I kind of felt bad for the author. I feel like she got attacked for no reason, so I'm going to read it and just judge for myself how the story is. I'm going into this book kind of wanting to support the author. I'm really hoping that this book is good to prove these people wrong. I think this one is set in a fantasy sort of setting inspired by Russia. The main character is part of a royal family. They get betrayed. Someone takes over the throne. She's out in the world trying to take revenge and reclaim her throne. It's a typical story that's been done before. Maybe it's different, I don't know, but I'm very intrigued on her take on this revenge plot line. So we'll see. Before all the book drama happened, the publishers were really pushing for this book to be the new big fantasy out there. But unfortunately, after the book drama happened, I don't know what's going to happen with this series. We'll see in the near future, after I read the book, what I actually feel about it. But so far, I'm giving Amélie Wen Zhao a chance. The next book I have here is A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Clues. I hate reading the author's last names. It's sort of like my brand to mispronounce author names. I'm sorry. But moving on, this is a YA fantasy that has been around for quite some time now. I think this was published in 2016, so not that long ago. I did see someone recommending this for those of us who liked Sorcery of Thorns and wanted something similar, and I'm really excited. You know what I appreciate about this book is how floppy it is. I love when paperbacks are really like floppy. You can open it and you don't damage the spine. I have very little knowledge of what exactly this one is about. It sounds like it's pretty similar to Sorcery of Thorns. It does seem like it's set in that sort of gothic Victorian era. It does have sorcery, it has demons. Whoa, it does really sound like Sorcery of Thorns. I will definitely have to read this to judge for myself how different it is from Sorcery of Thorns, but from the synopsis, it sounds very similar. But I'm also very excited because I loved the concept. We'll see. How did I not hear about this book sooner? The next book I have is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. This book obviously got a ton of buzz at the end of last year. Everyone was onto it. I feel like it's gotten very mixed reviews. I decided to give it a go because it has that hate to love romance aspect. It's about witches. It's sort of got this this forbidden romance between two enemies because one person's a witch and the other person is part of this religious sort of, should I say cult? Extremist, where they go around hunting witches. At the same time, I picked up To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I wanted to kind of compare these two because this one is also, this sort of has a similar setting, not in terms of the world, but in terms of how the characters are set up. I think this is about a siren or a mermaid and a prince from the land who hunts mermaids. I assume that this is also going to have an enemies to lovers sort of romance, and I want to compare these two and kind of see who does it better. I feel like this book has been getting a lot of mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it. This one, for the most part, I feel like got a majority of positive reviews, but I just thought witches, mermaids, I love this sort of stuff and I love that sort of hate to love romance. Basically, I'm going to try and read these two, hopefully in the same month, just to do like a comparison review of the two. Even though initially I had no interest in Serpent and Dove, I ended up just caving and getting this book anyway because of all the hype. The next book I have is Gideon, wait, I swear this book was called Gideon of the Ninth. I guess it's just Gideon the Ninth by Tazeen Meyer? I've had enough of complicated last names. I'm done. Don't judge me. Anyway, you guys have heard of this book before, I'm sure. It's got everything going for it. Science fiction, set in space, it's got bounty hunters, it's also queer positive, and it just sounds really, really cool. Oh, and it's also got necromancy. I guess there is a fine line between science fiction and fantasy. The only thing that worries me about Gideon the Ninth, it has mixed reviews, like Serpent and Dove. Some people love it, some people hate it, but it sounds amazing, it sounds action-packed. I love that. I also got Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This was the hyped up book from last year. Honestly, I was not interested. I do like Leigh Bardugo and her books. Not recently now. Late last year, I ended up reading the Shadow and Bone trilogy. There are some problems with that book, but it entertained me and I was curious to continue on with the Six of Crows duology and her sort of continuation of this expansive world. So I was interested in that sort of fantasy series, like world. But when this book came out and I heard what it was about, I was less interested. I don't really like college settings, those elite preppy people in like secret society clubs. It's just not my thing. When I heard about that, I just was not interested. Some people might find that intriguing. I personally don't. The only thing that got me curious was that it has sort of like a mystery crime solving element to it, and it also has a bit of fantasy entwined into it. It does have magic, so it is sort of like an urban fantasy, or is it paranormal? Whatever fantasy it is, it does have fantastical aspects to it. So I am sort of intrigued, and the people that love this book absolutely love this book. This book also has mixed reviews. Some people just really don't like it. I'm really scared for the last three books. What is it? Gideon the Ninth, Serpent and Dove, and Ninth House. It's got me a little nervous because all three books have very, very mixed ratings, and I'm very concerned that I just wasted my money. But I did purchase this on sale, so it wasn't too much of a blow if I don't enjoy it. I really didn't want to pick this book up, but it is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. The Shallowness of Me. The reason why I picked it up is because of how beautiful the cover was. I have enjoyed Sarah J. Maas's books for what they are, but I get very, very disinterested as the series goes on. Her books aren't that great, and I know people are gonna come for me if I say that, but they're just not for me. What I'm very critical of Sarah J. Maas's stories is that she kind of tries to control the reader in her writing to really make you like certain characters and start to hate certain characters, even though you kind of like these characters before. She has a very weird writing style. I don't really appreciate that. So yeah, whatever. I heard that this is her first dive into sort of adult fantasy. It's got like a paranormal fantasy vibe, but it's also sort of urban fantasy. I got it because the cover is so beautiful. Have you seen the in pages? Damn, it's gorgeous. Whoever did the artwork for this, A++. I'm curious because so far I have not finished either of her other series, I ended up just giving up on the series just because I really didn't like the direction that story was heading, so I just gave up. Same with A Court of Thorns and Roses. I think I'm just cursed with Sarah J Maas's books. I'm already sort of judging this book. There are stuff that I'm definitely gonna like, but just the characters. I just don't end up liking the characters. Yeah. I don't know. I got it because I was curious. It's a chunker. It's huge. I don't know when I'll get to House of Earth and Blood. Wait, is it Blood? Yes, Blood. But yes, those are the books that I will be hopefully reading in the near future. My descriptions of these books were horrendous and I apologize. That's it for today, guys. Those are all the books that I recently purchased. I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you in my next video. Bye!